Paolo Banchero is finally here, and the Orlando Magic rookie is already making it as clear as day why he was selected with the first overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. In his NBA debut, he dropped 27 points on 11 of 18 shooting, and he snagged 9 rebounds and 5 assists on top of the hyper-efficient scoring that he showcased. The 6'10", 19-year-old forward out of Duke plays with a level of poise and calmness that you'd expect more from a 10-year NBA veteran. If you were somebody watching him for the first time and you knew nothing about him, you'd probably think that he'd been in the NBA for years already. He looks like he's supposed to be there. It's not like he's going out there and he looks timid or that he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing. He's very intentional with what he does with the ball or the passes that he makes or where he puts himself when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Yes, he still makes the occasional rookie mistake here and there, but more often than not, everything that he does is done with a very clear purpose. Paolo Banchero might be a rookie, but he certainly doesn't play like it. He shows a lot of patience when trying to generate his own looks, using this behind-the-back dribble to step back a bit and pull JaVale McGee out of the paint before attacking him towards the middle of the paint and using a slick spin move to worm his way past him and get the layup to fall. He just knows what to do to score the basketball. Being guarded by Noah Vonleh here, he recognizes that Vonleh is angled towards the right sideline. Banchero attacks his front foot while Wendell Carter Jr. clears the paint, and Banchero gets to the basket for the finish. Some rookies have a little bit of a disconnect between their size and actually knowing how to use it to their advantage to either punish smaller defenders or draw contact. Paolo doesn't have that disconnect, and he seems to be fully aware of how dominant he can be. He's going to make this really good cut towards the lane, and he immediately gets into a spin move once he receives the ball. He does a good job of not being too aggressive to get called for an offensive foul, but he still makes the veteran move of using that shoulder to get Saddiq Bey off balance, allowing him to use that little bit of space that he generated to finish the basket. One of the big things that separates star scorers from high-level scorers is the ability to draw contact. Drawing contact serves more than one purpose than simply getting a couple of free throws. Drawing contact forces defenses to play you differently because if they know a player is capable of getting to the line, essentially at will, they're not going to play you nearly as tight, which of course makes it a lot easier to get to the basket. Paolo seems to understand that already, and he's starting to take advantage of it. Here he's posting up against Jake LaRavia. He's going to go for a left side spin move and LaRavia jumps into him, allowing Paolo to go up for the shot against the contact, and he ultimately draws the foul. Here the Magic are in transition and Paolo sees Collins and Murray in and around the paint, so he attacks them, putting the ball out of reach of Collins and putting his body into him to draw the contact and get the foul call. Through 3 games, he's an 81% free throw shooter, so it's not like fouling him has little consequence. As he continues to develop his driving and post-up game, teams are going to have to respect him and adjust their defensive aggressiveness as he proves how easily he's able to draw contact. Paolo is also a fantastic scorer out of the triple threat position due to his outlier ball handling ability from a big man. He uses that burst paired with his size, as well as a nice hesitation against John Collins, and he muscles his way by him to get to the rim and finish. Here he gets it in the corner, hitting Mobley with the pump fake before attacking his front foot to get him moving backwards, and then using a couple of behind the back dribbles to generate some space for a step back mid-range. His understanding of how defenses are playing him makes it infinitely easier for him to generate his own shots. Wendell comes over to set the screen on the right for him, and Bojan over-prepares for the screen to try and force Paolo to reject it. This actually allows Paolo to go ahead and make a move to the rim, and with Stewart moving to the perimeter to guard a possible kick out to Carter Jr., it leaves Paolo an opening to get to the rim, and Detroit's going to get called for the goaltend. Here he's bringing the ball up with Suggs there to screen for him. Collins hedges the screen, which Paolo immediately takes advantage of to get him backpedaling, making it easy for Paolo to blow by him and get to the rim. And even though he misses, it's still important to note that he made the right choice in attacking that hedge. Carter Jr. is the screener here with Wood guarding Paolo. You can see that the second Wood turns his back towards the screen, Paolo immediately uses the opportunity to put up a 3, which he knocks down without really any contest. Paolo's driving ability opens up a ton of playmaking opportunities, particularly for kickouts to the perimeter. I talked in my last video about Paolo about how his ability to make use of his interior scoring gravity in college was going to translate perfectly to the NBA, and we're already seeing him do it. Here he drives and White stays on him as he gets towards the paint, with Vonleh not committing to either him or Carter Jr. in the corner. Paolo goes up before sending it to Carter Jr. in the corner, and he's able to capitalize on the three. One of the most appealing aspects of Paolo's game is that he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to generate looks for himself. Franz and Wendell are running the pick and roll with Paolo on the left side wing. Franz collapses the defense on his drive, and he kicks it out to Wendell with Brooks trying to guard two guys at once. Paolo makes a really smart backdoor cut, allowing for an easy feed from Carter Jr. for Paolo to get the nice up and under layup to fall. With Orlando's approach to offense being predicated on putting out as many skilled wings as possible, this is going to be huge for allowing them to maximize their ability to put points on the board, since only one guy can have the ball in his hands at any given time. They're going to need everyone to be able to work off ball effectively, and I think Paolo's perfectly capable of that. Defensively, there were some concerns about him when he was in college, but he's done a fair amount to ease those concerns, and given all of his physical tools, there's actually a lot of potential for him to become a high-level defender. He's shown some solid defensive instincts coming over here to tag Vonleh on the roll, and when it gets kicked out to Tatum, he's quick to recover and get a really good contest on the shot. When Bojan tries to drive on him here, Paolo stays right on him, and he doesn't bite at all on the pump fake, staying patient so that he's able to go up with him at the same time to get the block. Here, Collins tries to drive, but Paolo uses that size to stay in front of him and force him to pass out of the post. Then when Collins gets it fed to him in the post again, Paolo plays him really tight and doesn't allow him any space to get comfortable on the shot. Once again, on Collins in the post, he denies the baseline drive and wraps Collins up to force him away from the basket, and his contest on the shot is going to be enough to force the miss. Again, it's not entirely clear what his upside is as a defender, but it's clear that he's capable of being at the very least a positive, and I'd say it's a lot more likely he's capable of being a very high-level defender. When people talk about Paolo's potential, you might hear a lot of different opinions. Some people think that he's going to be an absolute superstar, all-NBA caliber player, and some people have marginally lower expectations that he might be a frequent all-star, but he's not a franchise centerpiece or a future championship first option. So what do his first 3 games say about what might be in store for him? To answer this question, I took a look at how he ranked in Cerebro's 5-metric suite, some numbers that I like to use to compare players across eras and different contexts, such as college and the NBA. Also, these are not advanced stats. These are numbers derived from the standard box score, and they're meant to be paired alongside film and not used alone. If you average his numbers between college and the NBA so far, he's got a 77 pure scoring prowess, 61.5 three-point efficiency, 66 floor general skills, 72 above the rim rating, and an 80 defensive statistical impact. There are only 4 forwards in the modern era to record those numbers in a single season: Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic. Now, is this me saying that he's going to be a talent on par with LeBron James or Luka or Kevin Durant, 3 of the best players in the game right now? Not necessarily. It's only been 3 games, so those numbers might fluctuate as the season goes on, but it's unlikely that he gets worse than those numbers and a lot more likely that he gets better. It's not unrealistic to think that the Magic have their franchise superstar in Paolo Banchero. He's so young, yet plays with an understanding and feel for the game that's well beyond his years. If this is what he looks like now, at only the age of 19, it's scary to imagine what he might look like down the road. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. Also, be sure to check out my second channel. I'm going to be putting up a ton of stuff over there throughout the season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.